Hello everybody, this is Sixtos from Modern Brain Academy, and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to learn how to clean up your hard drive, and I hope you're excited to learn some cool tips. You might already know these tips, but I just wanted to make a comprehensive lesson for most of you who probably don't know how to clean up your hard drive. Obviously, we're not going to literally clean up your hard drive. The way that we're going to show you is how to clean up your storage, basically. If you notice you've seen you're running out of space, I'm going to show you different tricks here and there on how to empty some space. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously find out what your space is, and to do that, just open up your file manager. What you're going to do, you're going to go to this PC and then right click on your hard drive. In this case, I have 465 gigabytes and I have 225 gigs of free storage. The first thing you want to do is right click and go to properties. See how much you have free space, and right here, as you can see, I have half of it used and half of it free. The first thing you want to do is click this disk cleanup. Everybody knows about this one, okay? So you just run through that and then this will pop up. Make sure that you actually check mark all of these, okay? And then once you're done with that, it'll tell you that you're gonna free up 1 gigabyte, 1.93 gigabytes, okay? So you're gonna click OK, delete files. And then the second thing is you want to get rid of the temporary files. Okay, so while you're working on that, go back to your file manager and navigate in this following path. It's going to be C, Windows, and Temp. So I'm going to show you here. So navigate to C drive, Windows, and then Temp. Right here. Double click on the temp folder, and it's going to say you don't currently have permissions to access this folder. Click on continue to permanently get access to this folder. Click continue. Okay, and then you're going to get rid of all these files. What you're going to do, you're going to do Control A, and that's going to highlight all of them, and then you can right click and click delete, and that's going to ask you for admin rights. You're going to do this for all current files. Click continue, and you're getting rid of some. For these that did not work, just click here and click skip. Again, skip, skip. All right, so the second thing you want to do, or the third thing, what you want to do is you want to download a special program, okay? And then you're going to go to tree size, okay? You're actually just going to Google it. Tree size. Whoops. Okay. And it's actually a Jam software, so that's the first one. It's called, this is the actual website, which I'm going to list in the description below. It's jam-software.tree size if you want to write it down right now. There you go. That's the website. So we're going to go to free download, and then you're going to choose the first one with installer, and then you're going to do North America, and then click download. While we're waiting for that, I think we already clean up our disk. It looks like it already went through. So while that's downloading, then we're going to go to the command prompt, and then right click, and then run as administrator. Okay, otherwise it's not going to work, because you need to be an administrator to do this. And now you're going to go ahead and type the following code here. I will warn you, this is going to turn off your hibernation feature. So if you're into the hibernation, if you like to hibernate your computer, which I actually like to hibernate my computer, then you don't want to go through this step. Basically, for those of you who don't know what hibernation is, it's a way that your computer can go to sleep and then save what you were last working with. so that way when you wake it up again, it is back to where you left it off. And it's different than putting your computer to sleep, because when you're putting your computer to sleep, it's using power. With hibernation, it's really not using power. I know that some of you are going to be like, well, technically you are using what? Well, you know, you're not using as much power basically, so it's a power saving. And because it does use some power, we can turn it off, and it actually uses a lot of memory. So this is why it's a good idea to turn it off, because it uses some of the storage. Okay, so just run the program, or run the code. There you go. Once you press enter, then it's going to turn off the hibernation. So while we're waiting for that, we're going back to the program that we downloaded, the tree size. Click open to run the program. Tree size is awesome, by the way, guys. So click OK, English, accept. Yep, install it there, and then you can whatever you want to do here. Next. And this is really cool, because typically you would think that your hard drive, you would wish that your hard drive would be sorted from highest to largest files to lowest files, but it doesn't do that for you. So this program is basically going to do that for us. Okay, so it looks like it's done, and we're going to launch tree size now as administrator. Okay, so finish. There it is. Okay, so this is tree size, people, and this is free, by the way. So the first thing you want to do is select a directory, and then you're going to do local disk C, because that's the one we're going to do, and then basically going to scan your whole drive, and that's going to sort from the largest files on the top to the smallest files at the bottom, so you can find out which one you need to get rid of and what you need to leave. Obviously there's stuff that you don't need to delete, but it gives you an idea of what is unnecessary. What you want to do is you can click these brackets here to expand, and as you can see, my biggest folders are contained right here in my Latin pianist folder, and then there's app data. Now there's something that I wanted to explain to you what app data is. So typically if you go to in your file manager, if you go to view, the view tab, and you uncheck these two, you're not going to see the app data file. So if you go to the C drive, go to users, and then you go to your username, this is basically my computer right now. But if you check mark under the view tab, hidden items, then you're going to see app data. App data basically holds what it says, your app data, and here's a lot of stuff that is stored. And if we go back to tree size, there's a lot of data, 89.4 gigabytes of storage being stored, actually 82.4 in the roaming folder. So what's going on in there? If we keep it expanding, there is my Microsoft Flight Simulator game has 81.3 gigabytes of information in there that's being stored, and you can go one by one of your applications, and it tells you how much each application is holding. So if there's an application in here that you need to get rid of, you're more than welcome to use this application here and just delete the file. Now, disclaimer, if you delete files, okay, that you're not sure of, or you're trying to delete folders that you might not sure what it is, do not delete them. Don't come back to the video and blame me for something that you did, because I'm not telling you to just delete everything that has high storage. This tool is only to let you know what is taking up all the space, and once you find out what is taking up all the space, then you can go ahead and delete or uninstall the program. Okay, but it's what happens is that sometimes when you uninstall a program, you go to uninstall a program, right? Or what I usually do is programs and add or remove programs. Okay, what usually happens is you go in here and you uninstall a program. This is Windows 10 64-bit computer, and you go in here, and what you do, let's say you want to get rid of Adobe Air. Okay, you click uninstall. Well, sometimes what that'll do is only going to get rid of your application. Basically, these this one is for the 32 gig programs, and this is for the 64-bit. Did I say gig? I'm sorry. 32-bit programs, and this is for your 64-bit programs. Okay, so these two folders contain your programs. When you download a program, they install typically in here. Okay, so what this will do, is actually essentially uninstall the program from here, but it'll still leave the app data that we were on right now. Okay, does that make sense to you guys? Hopefully I'm not confusing you. App data, this will sometimes leave this data in here. Okay, and as you can see, if I were to uninstall my flight simulator program, it's basically going to uninstall the program, and sometimes it'll just do the program files. It'll uninstall it from here under the, whatever the Microsoft folder, wherever it belongs to. But it's not necessarily going to get rid of the app data folders. So if I were to uninstall Flight Simulator, I would still be having these folders full of junk that I don't need anymore. If I don't want Flight Simulator under the app data folder, 81.3 gigabytes are still going to remain in my folder. So this is where I come in here, and if I don't want that program, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that folder. Okay, and you can see my downloads folder has 50.4 gigabytes. I can certainly get rid of some stuff in there. Okay, so I'm hoping this is not confusing. I'm hoping this is making sense. This is a very cool tool you can use to make your hard drive get more space and use it as much as you can. Okay, so that's one of the commands. Another command that you can run, okay, it'll clear all the temp folders. Okay, and I'm going to paste this on the notepad here. There you go. So if you paste this, okay, there's a space there, and then there's a space there, and that's about it. 2 spaces. Space there, and then there's a space there. Everything else does not contain a space. 2 spaces, guys. Okay, don't just copy this and paste it into your command and press enter. And there you go. It clears a lot of temporary files that your computer might. Another thing you can do is decompress this drive to save disk space. So click here and then click here. Another old school thing to do. A lot of people don't do it anymore, but you can defrag and optimize your drives. I'm not going to show you how to do that because I don't think it works as much. You can just open optimize drives, or you can go in here, defrag. Okay, and it's going to have an app called Defragment and optimize drives. It's going to open this. You're going to choose the drive, which is a C drive. You're going to do analyze. It's going to analyze it. So your hard drive is almost like a pie here. Okay, so when there's a needle that spins around, okay, looking for information. So let's just say if you need stuff from your start menu, the needle's gonna go over here, right? And all your start menu items, okay, used to be located in one area for better performance. So if your start menu items are here, and then you have, let's say you have your firewall information over here, and this is just an example. I'm talking in layman terms, okay? So I don't want some of these people just coming back to the comments and saying, well, technically that's not where, I don't need all that, because I don't want to go too deep into this. So, and then we have, let's just say, gaming stuff here, okay? You have let's just put in here your applications, okay, and then this is your event viewer. I don't know, something like that. So all of these applications related to these categories are grouped in one spot. It's kind of like when you have an office, you have your desk, and you have everything similar to, like all your pens are stored in one area. All your paperwork, it's one area. You're not going to have everything everywhere. You're going to have all your paperwork, all your cables in one area. So that way you become more efficient, and your performance at work is better, right? So what begins to happen is that when your computer gets over the time, your computer will start placing certain items that belong here into here, okay? And vice versa. Some of these items come back in here, and then some of these items go over here, and then everything starts going everywhere, right? So what happens is that the needle of the hard drive used to look for everything about gaming in here. It was efficient and it was working high performance. Well, now since everything's everywhere, it's taking longer time to go back to different places of your hard drive. Okay, and that the more you have of that latency, it becomes a bigger issue. Okay, so you might think, well, it's not a big deal, you know, when it's a little bit, but imagine a lot of it. Okay, so this is where if your computer is way old, okay, it is good to do the defragment option. Okay, just analyze and then optimize, and you should be good. It shouldn't take too long depending on your hard drive. Okay, so that's another thing you can do. One last thing I want to teach you before I leave, and I don't know, some people coming into the video, they're probably thinking, what the heck is he showing? Is he showing how plants work? No, this is not biology, guys. This is IT, right? This is computer stuff. Now don't confuse your RAM with your hard drive. Okay, for those that don't know the difference, I'm just, for the sake of those that are new to programming, or I'm sorry, to IT, I'm going to show you the differences real quick. It's not going to take long, I promise. So if I look at my account here, my system, okay, so my hard drive, this hard drive is, I already told you, it's 465. So that's how much, that's how big my hard drive is, 465 gigabytes, okay? So once it gets full, then it's gonna be like, dude, I need some space. You know, download that tree size that JC taught you, okay, from Modern Brain, okay? So you do that, right? But a lot of people get that confused with your RAM. As you can see, this computer has 32 gigabytes of RAM, okay? You do not need all of that. Okay, this is a high performance computer, and this is why I have 32 gigabytes. But typically computers nowadays come in 4 gigs, okay? So that RAM will actually, it's almost like flash memory. Flash meaning it disappears, okay? So random access, it's called random access memory. Okay, so that's where it comes from. It's the name RAM. Sorry, I'm struggling with my mic here. It keeps on falling here. So if the RAM will actually help the hard drive. Okay, so that's the 465. This is the RAM. Okay, minus 32. Other people's, you know, yours might be different, but basically this will help the hard drive kind of like remember the most recent things that you're working on. Okay, so kind of like an assistant. Okay, so it would be like an equivalent of putting a little table next to your desk of where you put your stuff for the day, and then at the end of the day you're going to clear that desk, and then it's basically the equivalence of shutting down your computer. This is what's called flash memory, because it just disappears, and then you have a clean plate here. Okay, then once you start loading your computer again, all your auto start programs start filling it in again, and then when this becomes full, your performance of your computer actually, you know, your computer starts lagging. But that's a different video. I'm going to show you how to get your RAM going. So this video actually focuses on how to optimize your hard drive, and I hope that everything that I've taught you has you know, has done something with your memory. So I did tell you one more thing I was going to show you was how to allocate space. And if you go to computer management, if you want to right click and run as administrator, that way you don't run into any issues when you try to do some changes. And I'm almost done with this video. If you go in here, guys, the computer management, if you go to disk management, can actually see what your hard drive is made up of. We're looking at disk 1. Not the 465 gigabytes of space is allocated for my storage. As you can see here, 499 megabytes is dedicated to the NTFS, okay, which is the filing, what do you call it? The native filing. I forgot what the name is. The filing format of Windows. That's what NTFS, which is how your Windows figures out your folders and all that stuff. I don't want to get into too much details here, but 90 megabytes is for the EFI system partition, and then 465 of it is actually for your storage, which you can see the C drive. So what you can do here is you can check this out, guys. You will be surprised that sometimes not all of your memory that should be used for the C drive is actually allocated to the C drive. So what you can do, if you notice, okay, again, disclaimer, don't try this at home if you don't know what you're doing, okay? This is just an advice that I'm telling you. If you notice that some of the allocated space is too much on another allocated space, then you can actually bring that over to your C drive. For example, sometimes if you see the D drive having a lot of space and you don't need too much for recovery, then what you can do, you can right click, extend volume. There you go. So you can extend the volume, and then that extra volume that you don't need will actually go to your C drive. Again, you better search for this before you do anything, because this is getting real deep, and this is something that actually requires a lot of knowledge. So, but it is also an option for all of those who know a little bit about this, and I am not at fault if you lose all your information. Disclaimer. Please do it at your own risk. All right, so this is the end of it, and I hope you had fun, and hopefully you can clean up that hard drive. All right, guys, take care, and thanks for watching. Have fun.